Hello, this is A squared at mathandstuff.com with a calculator program that does calculus. First, we'll run the program to see if you want to take the time. Run the program. We use the sine function. We're going to run the program and we're going to run it. And it tells you to put your function in y5. Do you want a derivative or do you want an antiderivative? For a derivative, let's do that first. Let's go to pi over 2. Remember the sine curve. We're taking pi over 2. The derivative at pi over 2. Let's put in pi divided by 2. That's 90 degrees, pi over 2. The derivative right there is 0 because the tangent's horizontal. Let's try an antiderivative. It can only take it over an interval. This is not a computer algebra system. You're not going to get algebra. You're going to get a computation. Let's start at 0 and go to pi. So we're taking the hump. There. Your area under the curve is 2. That's what the program does. You can do it as many times as you want. When you're done with it, just quit. Before you start keying your program, there are 2 things you have to decide. Do you wish to use the support material on mathandstuff.com, or do you wish to just start keying? If you don't wish to use the support material, you can skip all this and continue with the rest of the video. On the home page, there are 2 ways to easily go to the program, the TI calculus program. One way is through the Calc 1 resource page. The other way is through the mathandstuff.com on video page. Because the calc page will take you there, we're going to start with the calc page. It has, in addition to information about the videos, it has other Calc 1 materials and a whole bunch of decent internet calculators. You might not want the program if you can use the internet, but I think the program is very handy, especially for my students who don't have an 84 and who must use calculus in their chemistry and physics and bio classes. So we're going to go to the program link. That takes you right to the mathandstuff.com page. And handheld calculator program is where we were. And this is what we're really going to do. We're going to run through a sample, which you've already done, provide programming instructions, which comes next, do the program, look at the other calc resources, which we've just done. So this is the example used to run the example. This is the entire program. It's available in print form on a PDF file and other pages, but we're looking for the PDF file. Click it. We're going to now begin writing the program. So hit program. Then we go to the basic programs. We're going to create a new one and begin typing in a name. The cursor is flashing that it's in alpha lock. which means all the keys now are set to enter the green alpha that's above the key. So I'm going to name this one video. So I have to find the letters V, I, C, E, O. I think the calculator takes up to 5 letters to name a program. I'm going to hit enter, and now we're ready to start using the program buttons. We looked at them before. We want our entire program is right there. So the first thing we need is display. Display is an input output. Right there is display. It's number 3. So I'm going to go to program, input output, and then number 3. That puts it on the screen. That search and find operation is the reason for the video. The video was created because it takes a while to learn where things are. I next need quotes. Then this is text that we'll get to when it ends in quotes. So we need display, which we have. Now we need quotes. The quotes are down here above the plus sign. You have to turn on alpha. Alpha plus gives you quotes. Now you can go to alpha lock, and it's ready to type, put FX in. So you type the letters P, U, T. Now you need a space that's above the 0. Now we need FX, F, X. Now we need a space, IN, and a space. Now we need Y5. Let's just put in Y. Let's turn off alpha. Notice it's off. Type the 5 in. We now need quotes. Alpha plus gives us that. That's the whole line. Enter will get us to the next line. It's a label. 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 Right there. In control, it's control 9. So we go program. Then we want input output. What did we need? We need label, didn't we? Label. Okay, we go back to here. We look for label. Right there, it's 9 in control. Label. Enter. Puts the word label on the screen. We need label 1, and then we go back to display. Label 1 is the name of a location. This location. So we're ready for the next line. Display, in quotes, the derivative equals 2. So we go to display is in input output. We hit program, input output, display is 3. It's on the screen. We need quotes, derivatives equals 2. our notes here. We're inputting it. We need quote derivative equals to quote. So we find the quote. We're going to go into alpha lock. Derivative DER is IV equal sign. Do you remember where it is? If you look on your cheat sheet, on the web page, it's one that I knew would be difficult to find. So where's the equal sign? Right there, equal sign. In above math in test. And again, you could print this right at the beginning. So we're going to call up a blue screen, pull up the calculator, pull up the paint program. We're ready to continue. The whole point was to find the equal sign. The equal sign is above math in test. There it is. Now we have the equal. We need the number 2. We need quotes to end the display. Alpha plus, done, enter. Let's see if you can do this one without my talking. I'm going to type it. If you want to take your time to enter it, freeze the video. If you're watching what I did, is I didn't put it in alpha lock. I thought I did, but I didn't. Now it's an alpha lock. I'm just going to continue. I'm going to narrate where each key is. Input is in right there. Input output, it's the top item. So I'm going to hit program, input output, enter. That puts input on my screen. D is a storage location. I need alpha D. That's the entire prompt. That's the entire line of code. If D equals 3, if is in control. So I put program right there. If then I need D equals 3. Do you remember where the equal is? I'm going to keep quiet. If you want to freeze it, freeze it. I'm just going to type it. Next button that you have to find is a go to. Go to is in control. Right there, it's control 0, which means you may think it's hidden, but it only has so much room. So we're going to go program, control. I don't see it here. I could go down. I'm going to go up instead. Just to show you I can. There it is. If I went up one more, I would get to 9, which was what was showing. I need 0. Okay, I've got the go to label 3. Done. So now I need label 2. What happened is label 1 is the location for deciding whether you want a derivative or an antiderivative. Then label 2 computes the derivative. Label 3 computes the antiderivative. So we're at go to 3, label 2. That's the location that it jumps to. We need the label button. Label is, again, in control. It's control 9. So program 9, set to go. That was label. We need label 2, done. Input at x equal. This command gives us a prompt and also the storage location. So we need an input. In input output, it's number 1. So program over to input output, enter. That put input on our display. We need at x equals quote. So start with a quote. Whoops. X. I'm in alpha lock. I need at x equals. Notice I didn't even turn on the alpha lock. I'm individually typing them. Need to find the equals. It was in second above math and test. I need an end of a quote. I then need the comma. And the comma, again, is one of the things that's hard to find right there. Alpha C. Finished with that line. Next, In this line, we need a computer-defined function. The function is called nth derivative, and for that we need the function, the variable, and the x value at which we want the derivative. Then we want to hit store to force the computation and a storage location. Let's just make this a little bigger. Well, that didn't do what I wanted it to do. Okay, so here again, I'm going to repeat the code and what it does. We need a calculator function, the variable for the function, our function name, the variable the function is written in, the point at which we want the derivative. We need to force the computation with a store button and then a storage location. So this is what we have to find now, the nth derivative. In catalog, which is above 0, the functions are listed in alphabetical order. So we want to go down to all the way down to n. All right, we're getting close. Nth derivative. There it is. Go to that line, hit enter, and it's put on the screen. Now we need y5. Now this we cannot type as a y and then a 5. It must be the function storage location y5. So we go to variables. And in variables, we want the function, the y variable. We want it's a function value and it's 5. The program is very easy to input now that you've found all the pieces. Display is in input output. And we want display, that's 3. And we want the letter H. The reason for the letter H is that's where we stored the derivative computation. We go in alpha H. Next, we need go to 1. Go to is a control. Program control go to should be number 0. And we want to go to 1. Then we want to go to label 3. Again, that's control. Left out a piece. No, I wanted control 3. If you make an error, just go back and correct it. Next, we need 2 lines of input for the lower limit and the upper limit of integration. Input is in input output. We want input, quotes, notice I did not lock it. I merged 2 lines, so what do I do now? I insert. There we go. I need another input. Almost done. The integration is in catalog. Catalog is blue. Okay, I got a page down. Alphabetical order, I want F. I need a Y5. I need a comma. I need a variable, a comma, alpha A, comma, alpha B, close parenthesis, store it to force the computation, stick it in E, display it, program, input, output, display is 3. I need alpha E. I need a go to program control. It was a 0. And take us back to the beginning of the program. And we're done. To save it, just quit. And you're finished.